Matthew 4.
Yahoo, chapter 4 and verse 1. Then was Yahusha led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward a-hunger. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If you be the Son of Yahuwah, command that these stones be made bread.
Lust of the flesh. See?
But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahuwah. Then the devil takes him up into the Kadesh city and sets him on a pinnacle of the temple and said to him, If you be the Son of Yah, cast yourself down, for it is written, He shall give his Malachim charge concerning you, and in their hands they shall bear you up, lest at any time you dash your foot on a stone.
Pride of life, right there. Read.
Yahusha said to him, It is written again, You shall not tempt Yahuwah your power. Again, the devil takes him up into an exceeding high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world.
Lust of the eyes. The three things right there again. Pride of life, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes. So he showed him something. Read.
And said to him, All these things will I give you, if you will fall down and worship me.
So in a sense, Adam and Eve did what? Exactly. They actually didn't. Because you chose the evil. And you knew it.
That just makes them all how much greater, though. You give us a choice.
But he just offered the Messiah something, right? All the kingdoms of the world. So we know he comes to all of these, quote unquote, all these people that we just been reading about the same way. Let's get 1 Timothy 6.
Timothy chapter 6 and verse 7. For we brought nothing into this world.
We didn't bring nothing into this world. Read.
And it is certain we can carry nothing out.
So all of this stuff that you got and you've accumulated, you got a couple of billions of dollars. You say, I want to, they're going to bury me in a Mercedes-Benz coffin. They're going to put me on my rings and my chains. And they put me on my favorite gators and all of this stuff. Only for somebody to come right after the people gone and open it up and take all of this stuff back off of you. Can't take none of it with you. Read.
And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
Any of y'all didn't eat today or yesterday? Everybody ate this stuff, right? And you should be content. Just like you said, having food and raiment, you should be content. I just got it, man. Forget that, man. It's like when y'all get into this Hebrew stuff, y'all start trying to, y'all want to be poor or something, you know what I'm saying? Where it say that at? We should be driving Benzes and stuff. Most time don't want us broke.
Most time don't want us broke.
They ain't doing nothing over there, bro. Read.
But they that will be rich,
They would have be what?
they that will be rich,
Do what?
fall into temptation and a snare.
Fall into temptation and a snare. That's why I said Babylon is what? Fallen. I beheld Satan do what? Go ahead.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in
Which do what?
which drown men.
Which drown men. Is there a famous story about a whole bunch of people drowning?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Read on.
Which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Go ahead.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
The love of money is the root of all evil. All of these people got money and influence. Read.
Which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith.
They have erred from the faith. Read.
And pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
Wait a minute, they did what to themselves?
Pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
So the Messiah was pierced through, right? And he was the man of what? He was the man of sorrow. Read.
But you, O man of Yahuwah, flee these things.
Flee these things. Don't take no 501c3. Don't sign a contract with Pepsi and then you can feed these people. Don't do that. Read.
And follow after righteousness.
Follow after what?
And follow after
Wait a minute,
righteousness.
get this money and live big.
And follow after righteousness.
Read.
Godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness.
And meekness, because he said the meek shall do what? Wait a minute, this he said the rich shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. And meekness. Somebody ain't playing right. Let's get Matthew 13. Matthew 13 and 1.
Yahoo, chapter 13 and verse 1. The same day went Yahusha out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things to them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow, and when he sowed, some of the seed fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns.
And some fell among what?
And some fell among thorns.
Some fell among thorns. What's the significance of thorns? Here. When Adam sinned, what came from the ground?
Oh, thistles.
Thistles and thorns. What did the Messiah have on? Crown of thorns, right? What's women's favorite flower?
Rose.
What's under the rose? That's something else.
And the thorns sprung up and choked them, but others fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who has ears to hear, let him hear.
So you got ears to hear? Let him hear. Read.
And the disciples came and said to him, Why speak you unto them in parables?
Why you just tell us, man? Stop all this parable stuff. Read.
He answered and said to them, Because it is given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Shamayim.
So it's given to them to know the mysteries or the secret things. Read.
But to them it is not given. For whosoever has, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever has not, from him shall be taken away even that he has. Therefore speak out to them in parables, because they see not.
Because they see and they looking at it and they don't see it. Read.
And hearing, they hear not.
They hear it and they still don't get it. Read.
Neither do they understand.
Jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
So all of us in this room, right? Can we see and hear? We know it.
For truly I say to you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. Hear therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom, and understands it not, then comes the wicked one.
Comes who?
Then comes the wicked one.
Then comes the wicked one.
And catches away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receives seed by the wayside.
So this is the person who got it by the wayside.
But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that hears the word, and anon with joy receives it.
So you get it for a good minute, and then the nostalgia there also. Read.
Yet has he not root in himself, but endures for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word,
but when tribulation and persecution comes, man, you go to church on Saturday now? Why you wearing that thing? Man, cut that beard off, man. You look stupid. Tribulation and persecution arises. Read.
by and by he is offended.
He is offended. I can't keep this up here. Read.
He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that hears the word, and the care of this world.
The cares of this world. Read.
And the deceitfulness of riches.
The what?
The deceitfulness of
The
riches.
deceitfulness of riches. Read.
Choke the word, and he becomes unfruitful.
That's why a whole bunch of our people are going off, because of the deceitfulness of riches. And it seems like when you're an Israelite, you just accept being broke and being poor, not being happy. That's what exactly how the enemy uses. Let's get Revelation 18 and 7. Let's see the let's see how the poor, how she lives. Revelation 18 and 7.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 7. How much she has glorified herself.
All of these people got great glory and esteem, right? How much she has glorified herself. Read.
And lived deliciously.
Live deliciously. This means the best, the finest, everything. Read.
So much torment and sorrow give her.
That's what all of these people, who, like you said, this Hebrew prosperity movement is falling into. They're going to get much torment and sorrow. Read.
For she says in her heart, I'll sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine.
Oh, famine, that's what she was afraid of. He told you, I'll take care of the ravens and the birds. Read.
And she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Yahuwah, the power who judges her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication.
The kings of the earth. Read.
Who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her.
There you go again. Live deliciously. Living the best. Read.
Shall bewail her and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning.
Read on.
Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is your judgment come.
For in 1 hour is your judgment come. So all of this stuff you have built up for centuries, decades, whatever, in 1 hour is going away. Bye-bye. Woof. Flames. Read.
And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her.
And the who?
The merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her.
So the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her. Read.
For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
So no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. What is the mark of the beast tied to? sides of buying and selling, right? What is it that originally got Satan in trouble?
Disobeying. Disobeying the Most High.
You get what?
Disobeying the Most High.
Let's see. Let's let the scripture see. Let's get Ezekiel 28. Ezekiel 28, and we're going to start at verse 5.
Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 5.
We're going to handle the lesser of the anti-Messiah. Read.
By your great wisdom and by your traffic have you increased your riches.
What does traffic mean, right?
Basically buying and selling.
Okay. So, while you're buying and selling, read.
Have you increased your riches, and your heart is lifted up because of your riches. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah, because you have set your heart as the heart of the Most High. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon you, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of your wisdom, and they shall defile your brightness.
Defile your brightness. Jump down to verse 13.
Verse 13.
Let's handle Lucy himself.
You have been in Eden, the garden of the Most High. Every precious stone was your covering.
Every what?
Every precious stone was your covering.
So, what does rappers all got on?
Chain, ring, glasses, dice.
All these, what's a girl's best friend? Read.
Every precious stone was your covering. The sardius, topaz, the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of your tabrets and of your pipes was prepared in you in the day that you was created. You are the anointed cherub that covered, and I have set you so. You was upon the Kadesh mountain of Yahuwah. You walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. You was perfect in your ways from the day that you was created, till iniquity was found in you.
So iniquity was found in you. So before he was perfect, but something made him go off. Read.
By the multitude of your merchandise.
By what?
The multitude of your merchandise.
So the multitude of his merchandise is what set them off and got him going. Which is the same thing we got all of our people getting caught up in. Buying and selling. Read.
They have filled the midst of you with violence, and you have sinned. Therefore, I will cast you as profane out of the mountain of Yahuwah, and I will destroy you, O covering chair, from the midst of the stones of fire.
Anybody in here like to buy and sell a shop? Sell it to you.
Let's think about it. We like to buy, but we have nothing to sell.
We all like to do it. All of us like to do it.
Some more than others.
Right.
You like to stop a lot. You like to stop a lot.
This is because it's a desire, right? So this guy wanted, the Most High wanted to give you truth. He wants to give you your worldly desires. This is stuff that he's going to use against you, to get you. Let's go back to Revelation 18. Now remember, it said he had on all of these precious things on him, right? Gold and all of these diamonds and pearls, rubies and all of this stuff. And you pick it up at verse 12.
The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thyine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beast and sheep and horses and chariots, and slaves and souls of men.
Wait a minute. Slaves and what?
Souls of men.
So they selling the souls of people. Wow. Deep right there. Not only you selling the person, you're selling the souls of men. That's 18 things right there. Somebody do a little math for me.
6 times 3.
There you go. Let's get 2 Peter 2 and 1. So somebody's in the business of selling souls.
Second Peter 2. The book of 2 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 1. But there were false prophets. There were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Most High that bought them.
What?
Even denying the Most High that bought them.
That did what to them?
That bought them.
You are bought. You are paid for with price already. There ain't no need for you to do nothing else.
Trying to get unhonest gain. Trying to do that.
Read.
And bring upon themselves swift destruction.
Upon the what?
Upon themselves swift destruction.
Swift destruction. So these false prophets who are out here teaching our people is going to bring in these damnable heresies. Oh, you can do this.
The Messiah ain't real. That's the main one right there.
All of these things. Read.
And many shall follow their pernicious ways.
A couple of them.
Many shall follow their pernicious ways.
So many people going to follow them. Read.
By reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken
So
of.
doing the truth is going to be evil spoken of. You just ain't doing nothing, man. We was in Brazil teaching the people doing this. Read.
And through covetousness shall they with vain words make merchandise of you.
Make what?
Make merchandise of you.
Wait a minute. He said the same thing over there about the merchandise, right? They shall make merchandise of you. So these people, these false prophets, and it ain't talking about no Christian pastors for the most part. It's talking about them, but a lot of our people think it's talking about just them.
Right.
Actually talking about so-called Israelites. Read.
And through covetousness shall they make with vain words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingers not, and their damnation slumbers not.
And their damnation slumbers not. So these dudes is making merchandise of you because they're in the business of selling souls. Let's get on Matthew 16 and 26.
It says, that's like, it seems like always coveting, they always say, Arabs got something, white people got something, Jews got something, and now we Hebrews, we got something. That's like coveting after the other nations still.
Absolutely. Matthew 16 and 26.
Pt.2, chapter 16 and verse 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world?
So what is it that you will profit if you shall gain the whole world? What is it? You gain all of these material riches. You got yachts and all of this stuff. But a lot of them already know it. That's why they just said it in their song. Like David can say, I forget the exact how the line go, but he basically said, you know, I got my money, I don't care if I go to hell. You really don't. That's basically what he said. And he ain't even got that much. Read.
What is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
And lose his own soul. Read.
Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
So how much is your soul worth? What will you give in exchange for it? Is it a price on it? Like the man in the Matrix said. I know this thing isn't real, but just send me back. Just make me rich. I want to be somebody important. Like a doctor or a lawyer or something. He says, whatever you wish. Just go back in there, dummy. That's all you... Because this is paper that they actually giving people. So it ain't really even nothing that you actually gaining. They gave you a piece of paper, fiat paper. They painted some men's pictures on it and said, this is worth something.
And we sell ourselves so short because everybody thinks you got to get Beyonce, Jay-Z money. People sell their soul for a couple $1,000.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 27. For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his work.
He shall reward every man according to his works. The church can tell you that your works don't do nothing for you, right? It's completely about your faith. He said, I'm going to judge you according to your works. Show that to him the next time when you having a little debate with him. And it's in quote unquote red writing. But again, all of these things are a choice. Adam and Eve had what? A choice between the tree of life and the tree of good and evil. The tree of life was the Messiah. The tree of good and evil was Satan. Let's get Genesis 4. What time is it? Genesis 4. Pick it up at 1.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahuwah. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahuwah. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And Yahuwah had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahuwah said to Cain, why are you wroth?
Why are you so mad? You'd have brought me your best. It wouldn't be none of this. Don't bring me anything. Bring me what I ask, what I require of you. Read.
And why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, shall you not be accepted?
The choice right here. If you do well, shall you not be accepted? Go ahead.
And if you do not well, sin lies at the door.
So he has a choice. A conscious thing to know whether to do good or whether to do evil. We know Cain went and did the evil, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 30 and 15.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 15. See, I have set before you this day life and good, and death and evil.
Well, I said it before you. Same thing. The tree of life and the tree of good and evil. I've set both of them before you. I'm not going to take it away. I'm telling you off the rip. Don't mess with this one. But they say curiosity killed the cat, though, right? Because just as sure as they tell you, you can go in any room in here Just don't go in that one. What happens to you? Why don't he let me go in this room? What's in there? I got to know what's in that room. Here, man, you go. You go see what's in there. Lucy is smart. Read.
See, I have set before you this day life and good, and death and evil, and that I command you this day to love Yahuwah your power, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply. And Yahuwah your power shall bless you in the land where you go to possess it. But if your heart turn away,
Gotta put it in there. I told you not to do it, just in case. If your heart turn away, read.
But if your heart turn away, so that you will not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely perish.
You shall what?
Surely perish.
You shall surely perish. Go right back. You shall surely die. Read.
And that you shall not prolong your days upon the land.
What do you say in the commandments about the prolonging of the days? Read.
Whether you pass over Jordan to go to possess it. I call Shamaim and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
So ain't no way you can get around it. He got the heavens and the earth to witness against you. Read.
Blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life.
Choose life. But guess what? The tree of good and evil, it looked like this. It's got benches and naked women and steaks and cookies and cakes on it. And the tree of life got broccoli and asparagus and wives covered up and all of this stuff on it. So this tree looked way more appealing. Exactly. This tree is much more appealing because it's covered in diamonds and it's sparkling. And everything that glitters ain't what? Again, remember, choices. So we see, keep making the wrong decision. Let's get Matthew 27. You have to bring it home to me. Matthew 27, pick it up at verse 20.
Yahoo chapter 27 and verse 20. But the chief priests and elders.
Wait a minute, who?
The chief priests and elders.
Chief priests and elders. Really?
Persuaded the multitude.
They're going to do the same thing. Just like it said, there were false teachers around you. So the same preachers, teachers, and elders are going to actually cause the people to do these things. Read.
That they should ask Barabbas and destroy Yahusha.
Wait a minute. Read that again.
That they should ask Barabbas and destroy Yahusha.
So they bought the man Barabbas out of a prison. And something, right? We have the anti-Messiah who's somewhere in a pit, right? He's going to be brought out. This is like a picture of it. You're going to have a choice. Read.
The governor answered and said to them, whether of the two will you that I release to you?
Read on.
They said, Barabbas.
Do what?
They said, Barabbas.
Wait a minute. So they consciously chose a murderer, a thief, over the Messiah. Read.
Pilate said to them, what shall I do then with Yahusha, which is called a Mashiach?
What shall I do with him then? Read.
They all say unto him, let him be crucified.
Let him be what?
Let him be crucified.
They made a choice. The people, our people, chose to say crucify him. Read.
And the governor said, why? What evil has he done? But they cried out the more, saying, let him be crucified.
Let him be crucified. So again, we see we made the wrong choice again. We keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Because it's another king that you're going to choose over him. Let's get 1 Samuel 8. First Samuel 8. Start at verse 1. Now you got to keep in mind that all of this stuff that's going on right now is purposely. The government will not work. It's designed not to work. So anybody that's voting, you just flat out wasting your time. It's designed not to work. It's purposely.
All right, this will be taken from the book titled Behold a Pale Horse by Mr. William Cooper, page 295. This is from you can look up the protocols of the so-called elders of Zion, or the wise men of Zion also. And it reads, the recognition of our despot may also come before the destruction of the Constitution. The moment for this recognition will come.
Wait a minute. Obama is doing what to the Constitution? He's destroying it. Every other day he's trying something new to kill it. Read.
The moment for this recognition will come when the people, utterly wearied by the irregularities and incompetence, a matter which we shall arrange for.
Which he said what?
A matter which we shall arrange for.
So they arranging for the leaders to look like idiots, to put somebody like George Bush in there who clearly is a buffoon and don't know nothing. Purposely. Read.
A matter which we shall arrange for of their rulers will clamor. Away with them.
Away with them, man. Get rid of these people. They don't know what they're doing. I can run the government better than that. Because it's on purpose. Read.
Away with them. And give us one king over all the earth.
Give us what?
Give us one king over all the earth.
Give us one king over all the earth. This is all being set up purposely. Read.
Who will unite us?
Who will do what?
Who will unite
Who
us?
will take us back to the Tower of Babel and bring us all together as one. Read.
And annihilate the causes of discord, frontiers, nationalities, religions, state debts. Who will give us peace and quiet?
State debt. Wipe it all away from you. I know you're sick of child support. I know you're sick of all of these things. I'll wipe it away. Clean slate. Just come to me. Read.
Who will give us peace and quiet, which we cannot find under our rulers and representatives.
They'll give us peace and quiet, which we can't find under our representatives right now. Because it's on purpose. Exactly. Let's go back to the script.
1 Samuel 8 and 1. And it came to pass, when Samuel was old.
So when Samuel got old, now Samuel was a righteous man. Read.
That he made his sons judges over Israel.
Made his sons to be the new judges. Right? Read.
Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second, Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba, and his sons walked not in his ways.
So his sons ain't righteous like him. They don't walk in his ways. Read.
But turned aside after lucre, and took bribes, and perverted judgment.
Wait a minute. What is lucre? What is that? That's money. So they went after money. They didn't do like Samuel was doing. Read.
Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together, and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said to him, Behold, you are old, and your sons walk not in your ways.
Your sons ain't like you. We don't want them over us. We don't want them leading us. We need a what? Shame. Read.
Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
Go not into the ways of the Gentiles. Make us a king to reign over us. Read.
But the king displeased, but the thing displeased Samuel when they said, give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto Yahuwah.
Now keep this out. Read.
And Yahuwah said to Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people in all they say.
Listen to them. Everything they say, listen to them. Read.
For they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me.
Oh, wait a minute. They did what?
But they have rejected me.
They have rejected me. There you go again. Rejected them in the beginning with the tree of life. Rejected them with Barabbas. Rejected them in the future, because this is a future thing. Even though it's written back here, it's talking about a future thing to come. Read.
But they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them, according to all the works which they have done since the day I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods. So do they also unto you. Now therefore listen unto their voice. However, yet protest solemnly unto them.
Okay, protest solemnly to them. Show them what's coming if you do this thing. Read.
And show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them.
Read.
And Samuel told all the words of Yahuwah unto the people that asked of him a king. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you.
This is the kind of king that you're going to get. He told them before they done it, this is what you're going to get. You're going to choose it. Read.
He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots and to be his horsemen. And some shall run before his chariots. He will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over 50, and will set them to ear his ground and reap his harvest, and to make him instruments of war and instruments of his chariots.
He's going to have you fighting in his army. It says that the nations of the earth will gather together to make war against him that sat on the horse. He's going to have you fighting the Messiah. Read.
And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers. And he will take your fields, and your vineyards, and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. And he will take the tenth of your seed, and of your vineyards, and give to his officers, and to his servants. And he will take your men servants, and your maid servants, and your goodliest young men, and your donkeys, and put them to his work.
He's going to put them to work. Really?
He will take the tenth of your sheep, and you shall be his servants.
You shall be his slaves. Read.
And you shall cry out in that day.
You shall cry out in that day. Read.
Because your king, which you shall have chosen you.
Which you shall what?
Which you shall have chosen you.
So you chose the God that's over you. He didn't pop up out of nowhere and take over. You chose him.
And Yahuwah will not hear you in that day.
He ain't going to hear you in that day. Because this God is going to give you, quote unquote, things that you want. Not necessarily what you need, but things you want. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Let's get on Genesis 47. If you don't know that these things are going to fail. 47 and 14.
The book of Genesis, chapter 47 and verse 14. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan. Verse 13. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, for the corn which they brought. And Joseph brought the money unto Pharaoh's house. And when the money failed,
when the money did what?
When the money failed,
when the money failed, because it's going to fail, because it's done on purpose, read.
In the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the money faileth.
All our money is gone, read.
And Joseph said, Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle.
Give
if
your
money
cars
fail.
and stuff, and I'll give you money for the read.
If money failed. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph. And Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for donkeys. And he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. When that year was ended, they came to him that second year, and said to him, We would not hide it from our master, how that our money is spent, and my master also has our herds of cattle. There is not anything left in the sight of my master, but our bodies and our land.
But our what?
Our bodies and our land.
So you're going to sell your own self. Read.
Why shall we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread.
Do what?
Buy us and our land for bread.
Go ahead.
And we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh.
So Pharaoh is playing the role of the anti-Messiah right here. Read.
And give us seed, that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh. And as for the people, he removed them to cities.
To what?
To cities.
He's going to get you packed up in these small places, just like you are right now. Read.
From one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other end thereof. Only the land of the priests brought he not.
Wait a minute, why did he get their land? Oh, because they ain't on the plot. Read.
For the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them. Therefore they sold not their land.
So therefore they sold not their land. But all these things are going to be exposed or made, quote unquote, naked. Let's get Genesis 3 and 22. Matter of fact, Genesis 3 and 10.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 10. And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked.
Because I was what?
Because I was naked.
Because he was naked. But it told us in the other chapters that him and his wife, matter of fact, verse 45 of 2, and they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. But over here, all of a sudden now they are ashamed. Because they've been what? Exposed. Read.
I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told you that you was naked?
How do you know you're naked all of a sudden? How is it that my baby boy Nasi walking around, all of a sudden he realized, Daddy, how does he know this? Read.
Have you eaten of the tree where I commanded you that you should not eat? And the man said, the woman who you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Now, opposite of what David done, right? Let's get 1 John 2 and 28. So the Messiah was somewhere else, and then he came to where they was at. And they hid themselves because they were naked. 1 John 2 and 28.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 28. And now, little children, abide in him.
Do what?
Abide in him.
You going?
That when he shall appear, we may have confidence and not be ashamed before him at his coming.
So we have confidence and not be ashamed before his coming. Let's get Revelation 16 and 15. Last couple.
Revelation chapter 16 and verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watch and keeps his garments.
And keeps his what?
And keeps his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
They see walk naked and they see his shame. Meaning you're being exposed.
Look like him when he comes back.
So remember, he's offering us eternal life, right? So he can't offer it. Last two scriptures. In Genesis 3 and 22.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 22. And Yahweh said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil.
So the man has become as one of us to be able to decide whether he wants to do good or evil. Read.
And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat and live forever.
So the tree of life is the only way that you get eternal life. Last scripture, Revelation 22 and 14. But he kicked them out, so he couldn't eat from it at that point.
Revelation chapter 22 and verse 14. Blessed are they that do his
That
commandments.
get the secret knowledge.
That do his
That
commandments.
go into the chakras.
That do his commandments.
Read.
That they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loves and makes a lie.
So, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life, all his vices to get you. All of these quote-unquote big people in office, they are the setup for you to follow them. These wicked elders and these fake preachers, all are part of the plot to take you under. And with that I say, Sally.